Hello! Welcome to the Study With Me series of Law School Buddy. I have prepared audiobook materials following the syllabus of the Philippine bar exams dedicated to our law school students. I hope that this audiobook can help with your study and review. Let's begin. This episode will cover Article 694 until 724, Title 8, Nuisance. Article 694. A nuisance is any act, omission, establishment, business, condition of property, or anything else which 1. Injures or endangers the health or safety of others, or 2. Annoys or offends the senses, or 3. Shocks, defies or disregards decency or morality, or 4. Obstructs or interferes with the free passage of any public highway or street, or any body of water, or 5. Hinders or impairs the use of property. Article 695. Nuisance is either public or private. A public nuisance affects a community or neighborhood, or any considerable number of persons, although the extent of the annoyance, danger, or damage upon individuals may be unequal. A private nuisance is one that is not included in the foregoing definition. Article 696. Every successive owner or possessor of property who fails or refuses to abate a nuisance in that property, started by a former owner or possessor, is liable therefore in the same manner as the one who created it. Article 697. The abatement of a nuisance does not preclude the right of any person injured to recover damages for its past existence. Article 698. Lapse of time cannot legalize any nuisance, whether public or private. Article 699. The remedies against a public nuisance are 1. A prosecution under the Penal Code or any local ordinance, or 2. A civil action, or 3. Abatement, without judicial proceedings. Article 700. The district health officer shall take care that one or all of the remedies against the public nuisance are availed of. Article 701. If a civil action is brought by reason of the maintenance of a public nuisance, such action shall be commenced by the city or municipal mayor. Article 702. The district health officer shall determine whether or not abatement, without judicial proceedings, is the best remedy against the public nuisance. Article 703. A private person may file an action on account of a public nuisance if it is specially injurious to himself. Article 704. Any private person may abate a public nuisance which is specially injurious to him by removing, or if necessary, by destroying the thing which constitutes the same, without committing a breach of the peace or doing a necessary injury. But it is necessary 1. That demand be first made upon the owner or possessor of the property to abate the nuisance. 2. That such demand has been rejected. 3. That the abatement be approved by the district health officer and executed with the assistance of the local police, and 4. That the value of the destruction does not exceed 3,000 pesos. Article 705. The remedies against a private nuisance are 1. A civil action, or 2. Abatement, without judicial proceedings. Article 706. Any person injured by a private nuisance may abate it by removing, or if necessary, by destroying the thing which constitutes the nuisance, without committing a breach of the peace or doing a necessary injury. However, it is indispensable that the procedure for extrajudicial abatement of a public nuisance by a private person be followed. Article 707. A private person or a public official, extrajudicially abating a nuisance, shall be liable for damages 1. If he causes a necessary injury, or 2. If an alleged nuisance is later declared by the courts to be not a real nuisance. Title 9. Registry of Property. Article 708. The Registry of Property has for its object the inscription or annotation of acts and contracts relating to the ownership and other rights over immovable property. Article 709. The titles of ownership or of other rights over immovable property, which are not duly inscribed or annotated in the Registry of Property, shall not prejudice third persons. Article 710. The books in the Registry of Property shall be public for those who have a known interest in ascertaining the status of the immovables or real rights, annotated or inscribed therein. Article 711. For determining what titles are subject to inscription or annotation, as well as the form, effects, and cancellation of inscriptions and annotations, the manner of keeping the books in the registry, and the value of the entries contained in said books, the provisions of the Mortgage Law, the Land Registration Act, and other special laws shall govern. Book 3. Different modes of acquiring ownership. Preliminary provision. Article 712. Ownership is acquired by occupation and by intellectual creation. Ownership and other real rights over property are acquired and transmitted by law, by donation, by testate and intestate succession, and in consequence of certain contracts, by tradition. They may also be acquired by means of prescription. Title 1. Occupation. Article 713. Things appropriable by nature which are without an owner, such as animals that are the object of hunting and fishing, hidden treasure and abandoned movables, are acquired by occupation. Article 714. The ownership of a piece of land cannot be acquired by occupation. Article 715. The right to hunt and to fish is regulated by special laws. Article 716. The owner of a swarm of bees shall have a right to pursue them to another's land, indemnifying the possessor of the latter for the damage. If the owner has not pursued the swarm, or ceases to do so within 2 consecutive days, the possessor of the land may occupy or retain the same. The owner of domesticated animals may also claim them within 20 days, to be counted from their occupation by another person. This period having expired, they shall pertain to him who has caught and kept them. Article 717. Pigeons and fish which from their respective breeding places pass to another pertaining to a different owner shall belong to the latter, provided they have not been enticed by some article or fraud. Article 718. He who by chance discovers hidden treasure in another's property shall have the right granted him in Article 438 of this Code. Article 719. Whoever finds a movable, which is not treasure, must return it to its previous possessor. If the latter is unknown, the finder shall immediately deposit it with the mayor of the city or municipality where the finding has taken place. The finding shall be publicly announced by the mayor for 2 consecutive weeks, in the way he deems best. If the movable cannot be kept without deterioration, or without expenses which considerably diminish its value, it shall be sold at public auction, 8 days after the publication. 6 months from the publication, having elapsed without the owner having appeared, the thing found, or its value, shall be awarded to the finder. The finder and the owner shall be obliged, as the case may be, to reimburse the expenses. Article 720. If the owner should appear in time, he shall be obliged to pay, as a reward to the finder, 1/10 of the sum, or of the price of the thing found. Title 2. Intellectual creation. Article 721. By intellectual creation, the following persons acquire ownership. 1. The author with regard to his literary, dramatic, historical, legal, philosophical, scientific or other work. 2. The composer, as to his musical composition. 3. The painter, sculptor, or other artist, with respect to the product of his art. 4. The scientist or technologist, or any other person, with regard to his discovery or invention. Article 722. The author and the composer, mentioned in Numbers 1 and 2 of the preceding article, shall have the ownership of their creations, even before the publication of the same. Once their works are published, their rights are governed by the copyright laws. The painter, sculptor or other artist, shall have dominion over the product of his art, even before it is copyrighted. The scientist or technologist has the ownership of his discovery or invention, even before it is patented. Article 723. Letters and other private communications in writing are owned by the person to whom they are addressed and delivered, but they cannot be published or disseminated without the consent of the writer or his heirs. However, the court may authorize their publication or dissemination if the public good or the interest of justice so requires. Article 724. Special laws govern copyright and patent. And that is the end. If this audiobook has helped you, please comment down below and like and share our video to someone who might need it. Thank you so much for making us your law school buddy.